over 20 years as an employee, receiving a paycheck every 2 weeks and following existing processes for the benefit of someone else's business. For the last 15 years, he has been building his business, which has earned over $2 million in sales last year, and shifting his mindset. Tonight, you will learn the 3 shifts in mindset you will need in order to prepare yourself to be independent and avoid getting marginalized by outsourcing. Please help me welcome Bob Dietrich, the entrepreneur's mindset. The entrepreneur's mindset, Mr. Bob Dietrich.
There's a cancer that is running through our country, eating away at our society. And if you're not prepared on how to handle it, it could cause problems, major problems, major shifts in your personal and professional lives. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, have you ever made this call? It's a Saturday, and you need to shift your cell phone plan, right? You dial 611. Pick up the phone, and wait a couple minutes, maybe a long time, and all of a sudden, welcome to AT&T, may I help you? Yes? I'd like to change my phone plan. Can you help me? Yes, Mr. Robert. Can you give me your phone number? Mr. Robert. It's like I'm in an episode of Dango Unchained. So I go through the call and I start trying to make changes, and I can't get the changes I want. I can't get the adjustments on my bill that I want. That's the reason I called, and there's no supervisor to talk to. There's no one with authority. The whole process of customer service has been outsourced to India or the Philippines or some other third world country. And that's a process that's been going on in our country for some time. Since 2001, over 3 million jobs have been shipped overseas. And those people lucky enough to keep their jobs have seen their paychecks go down about $1,400 annually on average. So tonight, I want to talk to you about a shift that you may be making in your lifetime. You may be forced to make. Because as these jobs start to go away, you may have to shift your thinking away from having a job and getting a paycheck every 2 weeks to becoming independent and changing your way of thinking about how you receive your income, how you make your money, how you survive in this country. The 3 things you'll learn tonight are shifting your mindset in leadership, shifting your mindset around money, and shifting your mindset around relationships. Let's talk about leadership first. You ever followed a leader who didn't know where they were going? Not in this club, I mean outside this club. I remember as a young person in a regular job, and I wanted to be the manager, right? And you know, when I think back, it's like I just wanted to be a manager because I wanted to be in charge. I wanted to be able to tell people what to do, just like I was being told what to do. And so I wanted to be the leader, right? I wanted to be the leader. But as I grew, and as I started to discover what leadership was, I started to discover that leadership wasn't leading people by authority and telling them what to do. Leadership was all about self-leadership. It's where do you lead yourself on a moment-by-moment, decision-by-decision basis. And as a result of where you lead yourself, other people follow. And when I learned that definition of leadership, everything shifted for me. Because then I started making smarter decisions for myself. And that's the entrepreneur mindset around leadership. You have to be able to lead yourself to where you want to go and make those decisions. And as a result, people will follow you. You also have to be clear about where you're going. You have to have a clear vision, and you have to be able to communicate that vision to a group of people, the people that are following you. You have to be able to communicate it first yourself. So leadership is important, but money is also very important. When you think about being an entrepreneur or being an employee, you get a paycheck every so often. Right? I remember I get a paycheck every 2 weeks, and that paycheck would come in and it would go out just as fast as it came in, and then another one would come in and it'd go out. And it wasn't based on results. I didn't get paid based on results. I get paid based on how much time I spent at my job. And that mindset is kind of a trap if you think about it, because if you're trying to be independent, if you're trying to earn more money than what you make, the idea is you go to school and you get this college degree, and then you can jump from this amount of money to this amount of money, and you can climb that corporate ladder and get bigger and bigger and make more and more. If you get into sales, if you're in sales, you start getting paid based on results. If you make a sale, you get paid. If you don't make a sale, you don't get paid. And if you really want to take it to another extreme, try commission sales, commission-only sales. It's like you get paid only if you make a sale, and if you don't make a sale, you don't get paid. There's no base salary, there's no net, there's no nothing. That's the entrepreneur mindset. You have to think months in advance about where your money's coming from. The sale you make today, you'll get paid for in June, for example. So you have to shift that mindset about when that money's coming in and how you're going to survive in the future. As a business owner, you definitely need to do that. And that's part of the entrepreneur mindset. You also have to start thinking about cash flow. In a business, cash comes in from income, but then it goes out. And when it comes in is really important, because if it comes in too late, you don't have time to pay your vendors, and you kind of start to ruin those relationships if you're not paying your bills on time. So you have to make sure that things are in place so the cash is flowing on a regular basis. Shifting that thinking alone around money can take years and years and years. And I recommend being prepared now, starting to think about those things now. As if you're an employee, if you have a job right now, start thinking about how you would shift your mindset around thinking months in advance. The third thing that you need to shift as an entrepreneur, to have the entrepreneur's mindset, is around relationships. It's around relationships. Now think, what relationships would a business have? Would an entrepreneur have? I'm not talking about just personal relationships. I'm talking about, what relationships do they have? They have relationships with their customers. They have relationships with their vendors. They have relationships with their service providers, like their accountants and their lawyers and things like that. And that becomes a community. That's really a community. And when you think about it from a community standpoint, as an entrepreneur, it really becomes interesting, because what you're doing is you're nurturing a community. The community is really the body of a business, of your business. The money is the lifeblood that flows through it. And so when you think about it that way, you really need to nurture. You need to first capture that community, capture those customers, hire those employees, hire those service providers, and then you need to nurture them. And one way to nurture them is to recognize them. I made a phone call to one of my vendors recently, and I told them, listen, I just want to let you know we had a great year. Thank you so much for your support. And I want to also let you know that we're planning to try and duplicate this year, and we're not looking at anybody else. We're not trying to go price shopping. We're not doing anything else. I want you to know that you're the guy, because I know this guy's an employee. I know he's getting paid a commission for what he's doing, and I want him to feel comfortable that we have a good relationship. So I'm just telling him the truth. This is the way it is, and I appreciate you, and I recognize you for what you've done for me. So you want to capture that community, capture that community, nurture it, and recognize those people for what they've done. When you can make these shifts in leadership, in money, and in relationships, in building community, you'll see your life change. You'll see your life change, and you'll see how you can create more out of your career than you are now. One of the things that I've heard, one of the things I heard a long time ago was a formula for luck. The formula was luck equals opportunity plus preparation. Right? Luck equals opportunity plus preparation. It's like, okay, well, opportunity is always there. Right? Opportunity is everywhere all the time. Opportunity, there's an abundance of it. It's preparation that you need to focus on. And when you think about where we're going with outsourcing and what's happening, how it's growing about 46% per year, then you might want to think about being prepared for what may inevitably happen to most of us, losing our jobs to outsourcing. And as we're prepared, not only are we protecting ourselves against what may be inevitable, but we're also preparing ourselves for the opportunities that will come out of that shift. Mr. Toastmaster.